Hi, welcome to Veronica Live. I'm Veronica, and today joining me is my regular co-host, Tracy, out in Colorado. Welcome, Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. I know we wanted to discuss the NFL and the flag situation that's been going on. As a veteran, I know I'm just, angry about it. I feel like the NFL has hijacked my flag, so I'm not a happy camper right now.
No, I'm not either. I think it's extremely disrespectful of many groups of people.
Well, and I just saw Bill O'Reilly last weekend in a show in Tampa. He travels with Dennis Miller for a no spin show. It was really fun, and he brought it up as well that we've got people out in the field in Afghanistan, and their release is watching a football game. And I know I was really embarrassed when the teams, the Ravens and who was the other team? The Jaguars were in London, and that game's always sold out in London. And the national anthem came on, and they kneeled. And they took a knee in London with our national anthem. I mean, that was a knife to the heart, that whole thing.
Yeah, and I saw Bill O'Reilly's interview with Sean Hannity, and he spoke about the same thing. He said that's a release for those folks that are in harm's way, downrange. And here these football players are. They're making millions of dollars on foreign soil, and they're disrespecting our country and our flag in another country. It actually reminds me, do you remember the Dixie Chicks criticizing President Bush?
Yes.
Overseas, and they received a ton of backlash for that, which I think they brought upon themselves. They don't know their audience.
No. And, people keep saying that it's all Trump's fault, President Trump. And, he just pointed out that he wants people to be respectful with the flag. So that right now is not going on. And I'm kind of fed up. I mean, I'm kind of hoping that the NFL, hits it in the pocketbook, because the national anthem has always been something that brings our country together. There, as Air Force veterans, there's always a flyby if there's an open area of a stadium. This is America, red, white, and blue, and now it's turned into a race issue, and the flag has never been about race to me.
No, to me either. It's always been about the unity of everyone. We are all Americans. It doesn't matter our color, our original nationality, our religion, any of those things. It's supposed to be a unifying thing and, symbol for everyone.
Well, my sister is a retired Army colonel, and she's normally not, she doesn't post things, but she was so angry this week that she actually posted on her Instagram, and I shared it on my Facebook. In the Army, on their battle dress uniforms, they wear the flag on their right shoulder, and like she wrote, the reason they wear the flag there is because they never retreat. And think about, for my sister, she's been, RPG'd. She's left those are rocket propelled grenades out in Afghanistan when she was working there, deployed. She's left her children, which most military people, they go away for 6 months, 9 months. They leave their families, they're subjected to people that hate them. And so, again, the flag, they never retreat. The flag's about your country. And that post just went crazy, I know, on my Facebook page, with people that are proud of the military, and we want our flag back. It should not have been hijacked at all.
And yes, and I agree with that completely. I did see your post and thought it was, an amazing thing that she wrote. But it's also that the NFL is ignoring the actual criminal behaviors that some of their players commit, but yet they're encouraging or just turning a blind eye to this disrespectful thing that these players are doing. And that, they're saying, oh, that's their right, blah, blah, blah. It might be their right to protest, but I think it's very tone deaf to protest on television when you're making millions of dollars, and the bad behaviors that many of these players they've turned a blind eye to.
Well, that, and they haven't supported things before. They haven't allowed things. Like after 9/11, players wanted to wear something. They said no. Then we had the 5 police officers in Dallas that were shot, and they wanted to wear something as well, the Dallas Cowboys, and they were told no. So all of a sudden, and the history behind it is that Colin Kaepernick, I guess he was quoted in 2016 and started all this. He said, "I'm not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color." So somehow the flag got wrapped up again into a race issue. And I actually read an excellent article out of National Review, and they had facts in there from the Wall Street Journal that 90% of blacks that are killed by black people, and it's not from cops. And actually, there's more white people. It's about 2-to-1 ratio that are killed by cops than blacks. I don't want anybody killed by a cop, but normally when these police officers pull out their weapons, something's going down, and they're in harm's way. So I want everything investigated for sure.
Right. Have you seen I just read it this morning. There's a letter from a former cop. He's retired now, who shot and killed a minority male. It was not, the kid was 19 years old, but he had just been shot in the chest, and I think the thigh. He was lucky he didn't bleed out. He wrote a blistering response to the whole thing and said, "You know what? I'm one of those people you're protesting, but you don't know that whole story. I had to lay there for 10 minutes. You've got people on the field that, come to respond to your injury. If you rip your jersey, you get a new one. Well, I get a new shirt too, but I still have the one that has blood stains on it."
Wow.
It was, a cop shooting someone generally has a reason for it.
Right.
You need to know the whole story. Doesn't mean there aren't situations that are bad and need to be investigated. But
and if there's a bad police officer, I want them out. If they're corrupt in that situation, they'll be corrupt in any situation.
And we don't want people like that in uniform with weapons,
right.
Obviously.
Right. Well, and, I'm Hispanic, so, I check that another block. But again, it's not a race issue for me with the flag. It's loving my country and having pride in my country, especially as veterans. The flag means so much to us. I remember my friend was killed in a fighter aircraft accident, and I was a protocol officer at the time, and I had to plan his funeral. You talk about moving when his wife was given the flag. How is that racial? That's somebody died for their country, And then my also my grandfather's buried in Arlington Cemetery. I'm 3rd generation military, and I remember going to his ceremony, pulling the casket by a horse, the flag, they folded it, they presented it to my grandmother, the 21-gun salute. The flag is about serving your country and having pride, and 21-gun salute, there's no race there. So I want the NFL to give me back my flag.
Yeah, I don't want a bunch of millionaires, disrespecting the flag in our country in that way. Where we're forced to have to see stuff like that. Although I can change the channel.
Right.
But Veronica, when you think about it, when you retired, did they give you a flag?
I got the flag. I did.
Me too. I have a flag. That's the flag that's going to cover our casket someday.
Very true. I never thought about that. Wow. Powerful. Well, the flag just means so much more to me and in our country. And, and then again, like we were discussing, we've got troops in harm's way. Football used to be a family-friendly, fun sport. And now it's become political. I just wish we could leave the politics, not there on a Thursday night or Sunday. When it's time, when it's game day, it's time to play game. Let's play football, people.
Yeah, they should do what they do best, and that's they're talented ball players. I'd love to see that and nothing else.
Yeah. Well, another story that sort of encompasses this a little bit also happened at the Air Force Academy Prep School. We had some racial slurs that were written on 5 black Air Force Academy prep cadets out in Colorado Springs, which is your neck of the woods.
It is. Mm-hmm.
And the prep school, just so people understand it, is you go there the year before your Air Force Academy 4 years. You go for a year and you work on math and English, and you prep to enter the Air Force Academy because it is a hard institution. And the Air Force Academy is about producing Air Force officers for our Air Force. So anyways, this incident happened this week, and I know you sent me the speech that the superintendent, Lieutenant General Jay Silveria, is that how we say his name? Mm-hmm. Addressed the issue. That was the most incredible speech, so powerful.
It was. You could feel, just through the video, you could feel how angry he was that somebody would treat a fellow Air Force airman that way.
Well, I think he needs to retire in a few years and run for politics. But basically, he said that the Air Force Academy is not tone deaf, and I guess they'd already had a forum after the Charlottesville issue about race had gone down, and they brought the cadets together to talk about tolerance and diversity. And his speech was. It was so powerful in that he said that if you can't treat someone with dignity and respect, then he said you need to get out. And then he continued that about if you have an issue with gender, then you need to get out. And then he also said that, if you have an issue with race, then you need to get out. The Academy, the Air Force Academy, producing military officers, is not going to tolerate this behavior.
Right. And then he talked about, how our diversity is our strength. We've got people from all walks of life, all types of backgrounds, all socioeconomic statuses. That makes us strong because we all bring different experiences. But, I saw a comment on one of the pages this was posted I thought was interesting. It's also that we have a common focus. So, our flag, our patriotism, our mission, our integrity, all those things, bind us together. And, when we respect each other, we're more powerful.
Well, and that is what's, and we've discussed this before, being in the military is a melting pot. And you do have everybody of all races and all backgrounds that have come together. And I've always thought it's a place where it's equal. Everybody's equal. They're just doing their job, and that's how your performance is judged, on how well you do your job, not your gender, not your skin color. But it is one of the most powerful speeches I think I've seen all year from this Lieutenant General. They're not going to tolerate that at the Academy. And I do like how he took the bull by the horns and addressed it.
Yeah, he jumped on it immediately. He wasn't going to let that fester or go on or become any worse. The security police are also investigating it. I don't know what they'll be able to find out, of course, because we don't know the exact circumstances, but hopefully they'll find out what happened and handle it accordingly.
Well, it makes me proud that the Air Force Academy has handled this issue. Obviously, they're being led by a true leader. And one of the coolest things about the speech was he told everybody to take out their phone. I mean, you saw that. That was so powerful. He's like, take out your phone, turn it on. And, he's like, this is from the horse's mouth. We are not going to tolerate this,
Right.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, that made me chuckle a little, being that I'm an educator. And usually I want kids to put their phones away. But his message was, as you said, very, very powerful.
Yeah. we're going to welcome and accept everyone, and this is not going to be tolerated. So I love it. Proud of it. So also breaking news was that the Health and Human Services